Hi, today we are going to show you how easy it is to configure vNode REST server model, which just means that vNode can act as a server to send information to any REST API clients on the market. Actually, vNode, once it gets information coming from any of these plant floor devices or even OPC servers, it can send this information to a REST API client using GET commands from the REST. So if you want to configure a vNode REST API server, it is pretty much simple. You first of all has to open your vNode panel. If you go to any web browser and you can type here the local address for your vNode, in this case the URL. So you can hit http://localhost and the port, which just means that is the port predefined for vNode. Once you get under vNode platform, you will see that there's a config panel, and under config panel, if you select models, you can create a new model right here. Create a model, and you just type any name you want to use for this model. So after you create it, you have to select the model right here of one of the models that vNode has actually. If you can see, there's a lot of models you can use. In this case, we're going to use the REST API server model. All right. You can type on true as required, and you can see that there is a couple of parameters that you must need. You don't need to configure as well. Okay. So you hit and save, and after you create this model, you will be seeing right here. It was showing the port as REST API calls will use to send information over the network, the compression, and if you want to make any authentication or provide any authentication for the communication, you can set up a user and a password for this connection. All right. In this case, we're gonna leave it as default. Okay. Once you do this, there is pretty much simple. If you have some tags here already created, that those tags are coming from any PLCs or any connection that you already have as an input models, you will see that this data like this is showing up. If you have any application like REST API application over Android or Apple or iOS or even a web application, you can send those tags to those applications using a REST API calls. So we are going to use a REST API client test software, which is called Postman. And remember that if you want to get information from any REST server, you must type a command, including what you want to do, including a URL of your REST server, which just means the IP address and also the port number, which it is 3003. This is a predefined port for REST API calls. So if you have to, or you need to get some data or browse some data, there's a couple of commands that you can use. If you go to the manual of vNode that you can also download it from our webpage, you will see that there's a lot of calls that we can use. Starting from calls regarding on models, calls regarding on REST API calls. You want to make some get from the model. You want to get some start to the model, some stop. Also, if you want to get link calls in which you have to communicate to another vNode using a REST API calls. And after that, you can see that tags calls is pretty much what we are always trying to accomplish, because we always want to send information and get information from any devices. So we're going to centralize our attention on these tag calls. Okay, this pretty much a basic commands that you can use, which means that you can browse for tags, you can get some details for the tags, you can read some tags, you can write some tags, and also you can get some history tags. Right? Depending on what you want, what you have to do or you want to do, you must use a specific command. Okay. In this case, we're going to use the browse command so we can look from the postman which tags we can or we have configured under vNode application. So this is the command that we always do. It's http dot slash slash the IP address from vNode automation software, the port number that which is means is the port number of the REST model, in this case slash as tags, which is the identifier of what we want to do, and which just means always the browse command, which it is what you want to do with the tags identifier. Okay, so if you hear the command with the URL, which just means this is the IP address of the vNode platform and the port 3003, which it is the port number predefined for REST API calls, and type tags that is referred to the part of the information you want to access, and the action, which means this is a browse of the tags. If you hit and send, you will look that in this case, Postman as a REST API client get some information as a browse of all the tags that are already configured on vNode. If you can look, there is pressure. There's temperature. There's resolution. Because it's OPC SQL, HES, and if you go to your vNode platform, you will see that those tags already exist here. If you deploy this, you will see there's the same groups of tags that you have here are the same that Postman is already looking here. All right. So if you need also to make any read for tags, I don't know if you have to access any tag, or if you want to look at a specific tag, you also can use a read command, as you can look at here. So it's pretty much the same template of the command as a get. So if you go here and type it again here, you just replace also the IP address for the IP address of vNode and the port number that you already know that is 3003. You can use also tags because you are referring to tags commands, and just hit and read and path, and this backslash or this asterisk, which will represent that you must access the whole tags that vNode has. If you don't want to access the whole tags and you want to access only just a group, you just delete the asterisk and type here the name of the group that you have created on vNode platform. So let's use asterisk so you can look at all the tags that we have. And after that, if you hit and send, there is a get command, and under the get command, you will see that there's a lot of tags with their values, their status, and their timestamp, which means that the bit that in this case Postman over a get command of read is accessing to vNode platform over JSON communication in REST API. So he is looking the tags that are actually showing up on vNode platform, right? If you here, the same tag that we have actually working here, okay? So basically, it's pretty much simple to configure a vNode REST API server. So you can configure it and you can start sending information to any REST API client that you have. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's pretty much simple. It's quicker to use. And if you have any questions or doubts about our platform, our solution, please feel free to contact us to the emails and the phone numbers that we already have, and we will be placing here at the video. So thank you very much for your time today, and please go ahead and start downloading your vNode application, all right?